What's up guys, Mark is here. Today we're going to be talking about the fastest way to becoming a digital nomad in 2022, and that's getting a remote job. Alright, we've got the fastest way to become a digital nomad. So if you want to get moving quickly, you don't want to be waiting around building your own business or having to save money and doing it the traditional way, which is running your own stuff. So you've got that full freedom. We've got the next best option, which is going to get you a step closer to the end goal for most of us, which is complete freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want to. But this is going to get you there that much quicker, and that's getting just a remote job. So you've got one foot in the door, you've got the remote job, and you've got the freedom to work wherever you want and be in that location that you're after, whether that's in the mountains, at the beach, in a big city. Obviously, if you're getting your work done, it doesn't really matter where you are, which is why this is a good option if you want to get moving. All right, so we've got 5 kind of key points here to get you moving quickly. You could essentially do this in 8 weeks if you already have the skills. But here we are. So we've got number 1, determine what your skills are. Number 2, you're going to want to find a job that needs those skills. That's remote, so you don't have to be at the office or at a job site. And then number 3, what you're going to do is obviously start applying for those jobs. You're going to be matching your CV exactly to what they're after, and you're going to be putting in, you're going to be putting in some work here, because most people just apply, they don't do a cover letter, they half-ass it. So it's quite easy to stand out just by actually doing what's asked of you. And then number 4, once you've got that offer, you can quit your job. Most places probably have a 4-week resignation timeline. So if you can get a new job in 4 weeks and then serve out your final 4 at your current job, you could be remote in as little as 8 weeks. And then lastly, let's look at the pros and cons of the remote job as a vehicle to being a digital nomad. All right, number 1. So determining your current skill set. So what are you good at? What do people ask you for advice for? What's your current job, and what problems can you solve for other people? Because if you can solve other people's problems to a high level, even a mid level, even a low level, you're going to get paid for it. So just have a think. What are you currently good at? Are you good at photography? Are you good at video editing? Do you build websites? Do you do programming? Even if you can speak English, that's a skill set, and there's plenty of jobs that are remote for people who speak English. And as I said in the previous video, you don't need to be making crazy popping bottles money to start being a digital nomad. You can easily do that on a entry level remote job such as English teaching or uh, an entry level admin job, or even an entry level coding job, entry level whatever job. You don't have to be extremely skilled to take the step to be a digital nomad. Brad, if you've got skills, if you don't have any, then unfortunately you're going to need to get some. People aren't going to pay you unless you can solve a problem. In this life as a digital nomad, to get paid, you need to help people. To help people, you need to be good at something. So, first option is picking an in-demand skill to fast track your remote life. Again, this video is about urgency and getting over there in about 8 weeks. So by choosing a skill that's in demand, you're going to be able to get there quicker. You could go down the route of doing something like YouTube, something you're passionate about, but that's probably going to take you a bit of a longer time to figure out. Whereas if you can jump into an existing business where they need someone to solve a problem, then that's going to be the fastest way. So obviously with the C-19 stuff, remote work is blowing up. So it's never been easier to be a digital nomad. And that's because remote work has been widely accepted in the office environment. So I've just laid out some highly in-demand skills that you could start learning today to get you remote as fast as possible. So first up, we've got computer programming / coding. So Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, pick any one of those. I hear Python is extremely popular. I gave it a shot, but it was it was a bit much for me, and I was already very proficient at digital marketing, so I just stuck to what I was already good at. Again, like I said in the previous video, you don't want to get shiny object syndrome. Do a couple of weeks of coding, then a couple of weeks of copywriting. Pick one, do your due diligence, make sure you pick one that you kind of enjoy or that pays well, and just stick to it. Give it enough time, you will get paid well for it. English teaching, I've put that in there because A, it's in demand, and B, it's extremely accessible if you already speak English natively. Then we've got Photoshop. So that's basically editing images, graphic design. Every business has a logo. Every business does marketing. They need graphics. They need visual content to engage with customers. And then I've highlighted video slash photo editing. Again, with C19 and just the digital transformation of our world, everything is on video. Everything's on a screen. And video and photos are obviously engaging. Everybody's on their phone consuming content. And if you can create videos and great photos for businesses or even yourself, you're going to be capturing people's attention and eventually getting paid for it. Next up, copywriting. This one's a good one if you like writing or you like communicating. Um, Again, every business has a website. Every business has ads. Someone's got to write those. Why not you? Second to the last one, we've got digital marketing. This is what I have been doing for 5 years. Essentially, this is helping businesses get more customers. Under the digital marketing umbrella, you've got so much different strands. You've got Google Ads, you've got SEO, website building, technically digital marketing. You've got email marketing, you've got social media marketing, Instagram, YouTube, uh, PR, branding, massive. And lastly, we've got website building. That's what I initially started with, which we'll talk about in a sec. So yeah, once you pick your skill, get to work, have some urgency. You're going to die one day, and the longer you put this off, the older you're going to get, and the less able you will be to enjoy the remote life. Yeah, so my background, like I said, was website building and digital marketing. 5 years ago, I did three free websites. Uh, One of them actually blew up, which is kind of lucky. It was a lash extension website. I just did some basic SEO on it, and she essentially got a, a six-figure business off that, which was just luck in applying some basic stuff. But yeah, I did free work for a couple of weeks. Then I started charging pennies. But I was learning and I was building a network. So you just need to pick one and then start learning as fast as you can. Or you can wait till next year. You can wait till the year after, and then you can wake up at 40 or 50, 60, or even 30, and it's just time's ticking. You're doing the same thing. There's more to your life, and this is it. All right, number two, find a job that needs those skills. So once you've identified what skills you already have, or you've developed a skill set, which I would say could take anywhere from probably 6 months to a year, depending on how hard you work, you're probably going to be at a position where you can apply for a job. If you already have the skills, that could be a high paying job. If you have been building the skills over the last 6 months to 12 months, then that is probably going to be a entry level job. But depending on where you want to go, where you want to live, that's going to be more than enough to have an amazing life. So obviously, you want to be picking jobs that there's no requirement for you to be at an office or a job site. And there's plenty of those going at the moment. You can just go to Seek, LinkedIn, Indeed, any job site. There's going to be a filter for remote work. So once you've identified the job that you can apply for, that you have the skill set for, you're going to want to build your CV out. And this isn't a career skills video, but essentially, as a marketer, this is what you need to do to sell yourself to the company. So whatever they've got in their job description, assuming that you can do what they need, you're basically just going to want to write your CV to match their job description. So when they look at the CV, they go, oh, this is exactly what we're after. Obviously, a cover letter is important. 90% of people aren't going to put a cover letter in. So if you just go that little bit more, you're going to be able to fast track getting this online job. Number three, obviously start applying. Have some urgency. We've touched on that. Life doesn't go on forever. You could leave this life at any point. So have some urgency. Uh, Myself, last year, I got a mid-level digital marketing job in 8 days. I was extremely motivated to get a new job. Uh, and within 8 days, I had 2 offers. So just put in the work, one day at a time. And within a couple of days, a week or two, you're going to start having offers. Like I said before, everyone half-asses this. So if you just put in a little bit more than everyone else, it's going to happen quicker for you. Again, I like to touch on the mindset side. So there's a quote from Nietzsche: "A man with a why can overcome any how." So if you have that true desire, that true why, for why you want to be a digital nomad or why you want to travel the world and work at the same time rather than having your 4-week holiday pittance, then you're going to be able to make this happen. All right, number four, once you've got those offers in the pocket, just pick the one that you like the most. And congratulations, you're one step closer to being fully free to do whatever you want whenever you want to. The reason this is the quickest way to get to being remote is that you don't have to build a business, which takes time and is not easy, but you're one step closer. You've gone from being locked into a physical location, working, to having a job, but you can do it wherever you want, which means you've got more free time. You're not commuting. And now you can use that extra time to transition to more freedom, which is your own business. Lastly, I've got 5 pros and cons of the remote job route. So lower stress, certainty of life, certainty of your job. It's the fastest way to go remote, and you've got a set routine. So you have to wake up at, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 8:30, whatever the time is that you need to be at work. You've got a set routine. You've got someone getting you out of bed, which can be helpful. There's less stress. You've got a guaranteed paycheck coming in every week, every month, so you can budget accordingly. You're not stressing out about running out of money because the money's going to keep coming in. And if you've got a good skill set, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to lose your job. And even if you do, you've got a good online skill set, so you're going to be able to get another job anyway, probably with more money because you've got experience now in an actual job in your skill set. All right, the cons. This is why I didn't want to go with the remote job route, but it's definitely better than having to sit in traffic. So it's essentially still a 9 to 5. You're still going to have to wake up at 8 o'clock or whatever time, and you're going to have to work for 9 or so hours. I've heard from friends that are remote workers that these days companies have a lot of surveillance type software, so they can see how active your mouse is, they can see what you're looking at, etc. So that doesn't sound that good to me. There's limited income potential with having a remote job. You're going to get paid a certain amount each week or each month. You're competing with other employees in the job market, and you're still essentially trading your time for money. So if I told you, hey, I need you to get an extra 10 grand in a month, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to wait probably a year for a pay review, get another 10K, etc. Again, less freedom. You have to be at your laptop at a certain amount of time every day. And you have less choice. You have to work with your boss. You have to work with certain people in your team, and you may not like them. Good thing about having your own business is you can choose who you work with, and that's why I like having my own business. Business is that I can be authentic. I don't have to work with people I don't like, um, and that's nice for me. I like not spending my energy on people that I don't necessarily want to work with or put up with, or you have personality conflicts, etc. I don't like that. But yeah, there we have it. Uh, 8 weeks. If I had 8 weeks, I could do this. I'm sure you can too. Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Happy to help out with any more. Roadblocks that you have, what's stopping you from doing this. If you're watching this video, I know you want to be remote and be a digital nomad. So whatever's holding you up, give me a bow. I got you.